Good morning, Rabbi Saya. LiIlui Nishmas imi Merosi Ruspas Mordechai. Hayoim Shiva Varboim Yoim Sheheim Shisha Shavuos VeChamisha Yomim Ba'Imer Lo'imer. Did it help anybody? This thing that we say, Shalom Aleichem, Robert Links. Halavai every day. Anybody? Is this the first time in your life? Azriel, Shalom Aleichem. These are the following sponsors. LiIlui Nishmas, the yahrzeit of my mother, Devora Bas Ze'ev, by Joe Berry, Yosef and Yisrael and family. By Fishel Gross, the famous official Fishel Gross. Refuah for Bryna Bas Yenta Devora, and Avraham Yosef and Chana, and the Cholah Meron, and for all the safety of our chayalim guarding us. By Ira Greenstein, LiIlui Nishmat, my grandfather, Tzvi Hirsch Friedman, the Tzvi Chemed. Tzvi Hirsch, ben Menashe, Simcha, Devora. I hope they don't say it about me. The guy with the Leo. And לשמירת כוחותינו היקרים ובניהם, and between them, Yaakov ben Bracha, Avraham Mordechai ben Krainomina, Itai ben Achama Ritza, and Dovi Middeldorf. What's his full name? This is not a joke. I was on my porch about 1 a.m. and I'm not exaggerating, there was 40 aircraft in the air. It looked like a light show. I have it on video. 40 aircraft. You saw F-15, 40 of them. I see them sometimes, 1, 2, 40. It's Narvaim, and you hear the bombs. You literally hear the bombs. And we see the streaking. If you live here, you see the streaking in the sky of the missiles. It's, keep on going. LiIlui. Rabbi say, last night, I was on the phone with the Kala, Nechama, Kranzer, and her uncle. They both called together, conference call, to tell me about Rebutal Kranzer. And we could take a tremendous chizuk from him. Here's a person, a balabas, ran a business, and he dedicated his entire life to chesed. He was nifter at 46 years old. Dedicated his entire life to chesed. He was the head of the Atzala, head of this organization, that organization. Constantly, he found out somebody needed a stroller, went to get him a stroller, this, that. He's always busy. However, he made time to learn the daf 8 times a day. Think about 8 times a day, 8 different shiurim. She herself was telling me different things that she heard from during the shiur. He said this once, and she once asked her father, what's pshat that he says stories in the middle of learning? It's Bittul Torah. And he said, no, that's exactly why he listens to it. It's Shema, it brings people to learning. It's upside down. Okay. Avraham Mordechai ben Krainomina, not Bryna. Okay, Chayal. Avraham Mordechai ben Krainomina. Good, he's watching. Baruch Hashem. Who's that? Shimi Weiss? Shimi Weiss, we got to take care of this. You got to call the guy up, okay? So we'll schmooze afterwards? Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So, Hillel Mechayev Haniyim, Yudel Kranz's Mechayev the Balabatim, we could all fit in. People say, I don't have enough time. I'm going to do this. You have more time than Yudel Kranzer. He's running all these organizations, he's able to fit in 8 daf a day. You could also do a little bit more. Just a little bit more. This week's Ami and Mishpacha. It's interesting, I brought this one, the Ami, because it's the Babaver dynasty on the cover. So inside over here somewhere, let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Another tzaddik, the stress relief pill, put in a full, half-page ad here, with the email from Yisrael Goldstein, Baba V'Chassan. I just thought it was interesting. Baba V'Chassan from Borough Park. Beautiful email, but also he's a photographer in Borough Park, but he learns the daf numerous times. I don't know how many, but listens to this shiur, that shiur, watches this shiur twice, one time, whatever, goes. Another tremendous out. So Yishkoich for Yossi Klein for all the work. I don't know how he does it. Also, a guy busy with his plumbing company, but constantly pushing the daf. All right. Oh, I'm supposed to mention, because the Kala told me that I said that she's unfortunately engaged. That's not what I meant. I meant it didn't come out good. Nachman sells to the. Okay, she's right then. I was telling you, no, you're not. You don't have a lamdusha cup. What I meant is, she's a Kala. Unfortunately, it happened 2 weeks after she got engaged, and the father's not going to be there. Fine. Fortunately, she got engaged. Fortunately. Do we have time for an email or? We do? Wow. All right. I like this email because it's from Eli Klein from Williamsburg. We have Yoili's that watch in Williamsburg. Here's a picture of Yoili. You're not going to believe it. He's the real deal. It's Kras, the pious, the whole thing from Williamsburg. This is a picture of him in the hospital with his grandmother. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's a very long email. But it says he started Daf Yomi in Bruches. That's how he writes it, in Bruches. And he wasn't so consistent. He was listening to different shir. And then he found this one. And now, Baruch Hashem, he is solid. He enjoys the emails and the shir itself. It's clear. And of course the charts. Unbelievable. A chussid in the hospital. Nebuch, his grandmother, is not with us anymore since he wrote this email. That's how long ago he wrote it. The neshama should have an aliyah, Fegabas Rachel, or I don't know what her father's name is. Okay. He made time to make what? There is. On the 8-minute daf, I do a chazara. I do the recap of the email. So thanks for watching that also. You and Noam. So doing the daf is number one, you learn every day. Number two, what would you do while sitting in the hospital like this? Kids say you learn 2 dafim in the hospital and he just wants to say Yishkoyach and we should all be Messiah Shas together. Yoili Klein from Williamsburg. Yishkoyach Yoili. All right. Rabbi Isai, do me a favor, get me a Mishnah Berurah. I don't need the second, we're going to need it soon. We are holding on today's daf Lamed Gimel. So first of all, where in the Siddur does it say Yoma daf Lamed Gimel? Anybody? Who just said that? You? Both of you could leave right now. Anybody that knows that and does karbonis? Arois! We don't want people like that in this Beis Medrash. Chutzpah. Karbonis. Yes, so today is a famous daf that people that see karbonis, we're going to discuss it. And also, I would like to know, with a show of hands maybe, when you cut your challah on Shabbos, who cuts the top challah? Anybody? Shabbos day, you cut the top one? But everybody else, Friday night, cuts the bottom one? Psh, wow. Isn't that a problem? What's the problem with that? Some people put on the side. All right, let's see. We'll see today's sugya. But anyway, Zok the Gemara. Huh? The guy cuts both, but for a different reason, not because of Mavir and Mitzvahs. Says the Gemara, Daf Amud Beis, Daf Leiv, Amud Beis, by Krotza Bikama. And maybe I should take my phone out of my pocket because every 2 seconds it's ringing with rocket attacks. Okay. Kirotzoi Bikama. So we're holding, in the Mishnah it says that the Kohen Gadol does kritza, he shechs the animal. We already established that krotza means to kill, to murder. So you kill the animal, kritza. Why is it called kritza? Because it's only the Rav Simon. You do 51% of the trachea of the Chana and Veshet, and that's it. Omar Ula, we have a picture if you want to see. I don't know if I showed this one yesterday. 50% of the Chana and the Veshet, the 2 simanim. So, Beroy Omar Ula. So now we have 3 Mand Omrim that say the same exact thing. There's no machlokes here. Omar Ula, Beroy Shnaim. It means 51% of the 2 simanim. V'chein Omar Rabbi Yochanan, Beroy Shnaim, 51%. V'af Rish Lakish, Sava Beroy Shnaim. And even Rish Lakish also holds 51%. How do we know? This is a little bit of a discussion for 3 lines. Omar Rish Lakish. This is a Mishnah in Chulin. And the Mishnah starts off saying that when it comes to a bird, you only have to cut 1 out of the 2 simanim. You can either cut the trachea, or you can cut, what's the other one called? The esophagus. 1 of the 2. But when it comes to an animal, you have to cut both. Okay, so we established that a bird is different than an animal. Then it goes on to say, 51% is considered 100%, like everything else in the Torah. And then if so, as Rish Lakish, so then why does the Mishnah say at the end that you need the majority of one siman by a bird and the majority of two simanim by an animal. We already established that a bird is one and an animal is two. We already established that a roiv is as if he did the whole thing. So why does the Mishnah repeat itself? Because in our Mishnah in Yoma it says, the kohen gadol shechts, but he leaves the knife there. Somebody takes over umerak acher shchita al yadai, and another person does the merika. He continues doing the shchita. V'kibel sadam uzrakoi. And you have to do, you hear Naftali, somebody asked me a question yesterday, I don't really answer, but I was going to read his email, but you have to do Kabbalah Saddam, you have to hold the kli. You can't put it on the floor, you can't use your left hand, you have to hold the kli in your right hand. Yochaloi Merak Apostle. I want to answer, there's no time. Yochaloi Merak Apostle. I would think, if the second guy doesn't take over, he doesn't continue the shchita, the animal should be apostle. Wait a minute, the Gemara stops for a second. Yochaloi Merak Apostle. Wait a minute. How would you have a havamina that a second person has to continue the shechita, and if he doesn't finish the shechita, it's possible? That means that the shechita was just done by two people. That you need the second person means it's done by two people. The only person that can perform any of the avodas, the entire Yom Kippur, is only the Kohen Gadol. Well, it's not so posh like that, but okay. I would say that since, Rashi explains, since the entire shechita, what's the purpose of the shechita? To get the blood. There's nothing else going on here. So it's not you're not eating this animal like a regular. Maybe the Mishnah is Chulin is talking about animals that you eat. So over there, it's enough to have a rive. But over here, that you need the blood, maybe you have to do more of a shechita so you could get more of the blood out. It's better for the blood. You're receiving more blood. It's all about the blood. So maybe it should be pasam with the rabbanon, top of Lamed Gimel Amud Aleph, lekach sheninu, roiv echad ba'oiv, v'roiv shnayim bebehema. Okay, says Rish Lakish. We just explained the Mishnah why it doubles up the lashon. How you doing? Doubles up the lashon to tell us roiv echad ba'oiv, v'roiv shnayim bebehema. You're not even pasam with the rabbanon. You're good to go, even 51%. But what do you come out from all this? You come out that Rish Lakish holds that a roiv is enough. So you have Ula, you have Rabbi Yochanan, you have Rish Lakish. There's not going to be an argument with this. They all hold a roiv, 51% of the shechita is enough, and that's why the Kohen Gadol does 51% of the shechita. He grabs the kli immediately, puts it under the neck, receives the blood, and goes weiter. That's the Gemara. So then what's the point of doing this whole merika? Mitzvah l'marek. It's good, it's better. So we get out all this blood, get it all out as much as possible. This dam nefesh, you want to get out all the blood, but it's just it's an inyan, it's a mitzvah, it's better. It's not a chiyuv. It's not a chiyuv. Now, how many people say korbanos over here? 2 people raise their hand. I don't know. There's like 50. Oh, there's 5, 6 people. Father-in-law, of course. Who said it's not a misprint? A Brev that said it's not a misprint in the Siddur. Very good. I've seen people say it, and I'm wondering how many people understand it, those who say it. What does that libid abashol mean? Does anybody know what it means? So that's one thing I was wondering about. I mean, there's a guy, he happened to end up, when he was like 16, 17 years old, and he used to stand next to me in Chicago in Dam Shmonesrei. So I went over to him after Shmonesrei once. I said, listen, I noticed that Yidam Shmonesrei took you 2.5 minutes. If you could repeat Shmonesrei in 2.5 minutes aloud, here's $1,000. I put $1,000 on the table. He goes, yeah, I could do it. Kitzi got to Refuah, and that was basically it. I tried the same trick on my nephew, another 16-year-old, Gershon in Farakwe. I almost lost my $1,000. The only reason why I beat him is because he made a mistake and I made him go back. But he missed it by like 2-3 seconds. That guy, no, he ended up marrying my niece, the first guy. And he told me, oh, since then, okay. I was the Mashgiach the shul, you know. So, but listen to this. You should look this up. I'm telling you should look this up. This is in Siman Mem Ches in the Mishnah Berurah. Mem Ches, look it up. It's Kedai. I'm going to read it like this. Hatamid. We're talking about carbon tamid here. Vibe mokem akravas carbon hatamid. Sheken kiblu chazal shebizman shem bisamigdash kayim ve'in yicholim lakriv karbonis. This is mamish negiyat our Gemara today. In the time of the Beis Hamikdash, and we cannot bring korbanos misha oisik bahem or parashiyasayim. Whoever learns the Torah and their parashas, malav akazav kiloi kriyim. It's as if you brought a carbon tamid. Ulkach yeshoimrim gamkin seder hamarachim etamzeh. And that's why there are people that say in the korbanos the seder hamaracha abayav vumashin is pashid haminig biyomenu loimer b'chol yom abayav misader seder hamaracha. That's why people say. Says the Mishnah Berurah, v'nira li pashut. It's simple to me. The Mishi Yedei Sefer, whoever knows how to learn Torah, mitzvah lumei b'gemara, Yoma daf lamed gimel. Pirush HaMeron, by the way, Ari Weinstein Shkoch for pointing out this Mishnah Berurah to me. Pirush HaMeron azu. V'chei masha onu oimim b'chol yoim in yoni asiyas haktoras. He says, it says in parentheses, Yoma daf lamed gimel, right here. So, it's not enough to just say the words. He says so mefurish. You have to understand what he's saying. It's as if the saying is as if you were. This that the Gemara says, if you do the Parshas Oilers, ki-ilu, you brought Oila. Hakavana shu misasik lahavin in yoneh. You have to understand it, not just read it and say it and blah 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 blah. That doesn't work. Learns that there's levad. Okay, Ayin Sham, Mishnah Berurah, Mem Ches, Yishkoyach. Now that we know that, Va'al Abaya Mesader Ma'arocha Mishmei the Gemara. So now we can learn inside and understand what we're talking about forever. Abaya Mesader Ma'arocha. I have it over here. I don't know if you could see the camera. Oh, it doesn't go all the way up, but there's a lot of them. It's like 16. Mishmei the Gemara Va'aliba da Abashol, and this goes according to Abashol. And we're going to see what that means. That Abashol says that in the Neiros, here's the menorah. I don't know if you can't see everything. In the menorah, we split the menorah, the first 5, and then he does another avodah. He does, according to Abashol, he does the tamid. He shechs and he sprinkles the blood. And then he comes back and does the next 2. So it's 5, tamid, 2. But we saw this machlokes already in the sugya, in this mesechta, and Chachamim say no, he does the ketores over here. What? No. Here, let's see. Atavas neiros, dam tamid, atavas beis neiros, dam tamid. Says the Gemara. Yeah, where did you see? You're reading Rashi about? No, he's. No, he's saying hatavas kol haneiros. No, it's fine. What Rashi is saying is that all 7 come before the Ketores, unlike Chachamim that say the Ketores comes after the 5. Okay. Maracha Gdoila, so starting from the top. Maracha Gdoila kodemis al maracha shniya. Here's the Mizbeach, and here's the pile of wood. This is the Maracha Gdoila. This is burning all the time. That comes before this little guy over here on the left side of the Mizbeach, that this is specifically for the Ketores. This is where we get our coals for. You don't burn. The Ketores is burnt over there. You don't burn it. You don't make coals in the heichal. Rather, you take the coals off the regular mizbeach, bring the coals into the heichal. So the order is maracha gdoila is the first, and then comes the second maracha shel ketores. Maracha shniya shel ketores kodemis l'sidu shnei gzirei. So we know what gzirei eitzim is when the kohen takes 2 pieces of wood and puts it on the existing fire. So that's number 3 in the list. Besidur shnei gzirei eitzim, and then koidim the dishon. Could I have that ketores guy? No, this guy, please. Thank you. There's a bottom that might come off. So the dishon mizbeach hapnimi, that is to remove the ashes from the top of the small mizbeach. This is the ketores mizbeach hazav. So that comes next. V'dishon mizbeach hapnimi koidim la tovas chomesh neiros. And then, this is what we were talking about. The cleaning of the Mizbeach comes before removing the ashes and the wicks from the first 5. I have here, just to recall, here you go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He cleans them. Then here comes the Ketores, the actual burning of the Ketores. Huh? No, Chacham. Yeah, this is according to Chacham. Sorry, this is according to Chacham, but he's sorry. Abashol is. You're right. I couldn't find the other one. Thank you. And according to Abishol, that's why we say. So when you say it in the morning, you have no idea what you're saying. Ali b'da Abishol. This is going according to Abishol. That says between the 5 and the 2, he inserts dam atomid. You do the shechita of the sheep in the morning, the first carbon in the morning, and you take the blood and you sprinkle it on the mizbeach. And then when he's done with the blood, he goes back and cleans out the 2 neiros, because we're going to learn it's 2 separate avodas. Baboiker, 2 different times. And then after that, he does the k'tayris on top of this. I think I might have a picture, just in case. Here's Zrikas Adam, and if you don't know what it looks like, here's the Kohen Gadol throwing the blood on one corner, which is like two walls. And here is k'tayris. He puts the incense on the mizbeach. Yeah, very good. Zok the Gemara. No, he's just explaining why it's called Yimin. Called Pinashat the Point Yimin. Zok the Gemara. V'dama Tomid Kodim Latav Shtei Neiros. V'dama Shtei Neiros Kodim L'K'tayris. We said that Uk'tayris Kodim L'Ivarim. This is a varim. If you recall, we already discussed most of these things. The Kohen Gadol takes the head of the tamid, and here it is in mid-air, tossing it onto the fire. It includes all the varim that he has to put on. Ve'varim lemincha. Together with the carbon tamid comes a mincha made out of flour that also goes on the mizbeach. Umincha comes before chavitin. Every single morning, the Kohen Gadol brings his own private mincha called minchas chavitin. Ve'chavitin l'nesachim. And chavitin, it's interesting, we split up and we discussed this as well. There's 2 parts that come with the tamid. The carbon tamid, the actual animal goes on, but in addition to that, you have the flour, the mincha, and the wine. You don't take the mincha, the flour and the wine, you put them on the mizbeach. You do flour, stop. You do chavitin, which is a whole different avodah, the Kohen Gadol's chavitin, and then you do the wine that belongs together with the silas, but it's broken up. Flour, wine, but in between the sandwich is the chavitin. Umincha comes before chavitin, the chavitin comes before l'nesachim, u'nesachim l'musafim. When do we have a carbon musaf? On Shabbos. Did I say Kohen Gadol? This is not Kohen Gadol. This is anybody. This is not Yom Kippur. This is every day. But this is a Shabbos. Shabbos you do a musaf. Musaf comes afterwards. U'musafim l'vazichin. Chavitin's Kohen Gadol every day. Umusafim levazichin, and the carbon musaf comes on Shabbos before the bazichin. Bazichin are the 2 spoons in here, right over here. You can see them, and they contain, with my Jonathan Stefansky gift, frankincense, and that's only when do you put the bazichin on the mizbeach? Only on Shabbos. It's only on Shabbos. It's from Shabbos to Shabbos. So this includes other stuff. This is all the avodah of the lechem hapanim is on Shabbos, right? Putting the breads onto the table, taking them off the table, taking the bezichin to the ilacha to the mizbeach, putting it on the mizbeach. That's what it means over here, bezichin. And that all comes before. This is the final one, Rabbi Isai. Tamid shel bein arbayim. There's a tamid in the morning and a tamid in the afternoon. You want to ask something?
Is there a reason you wrote the word nechasim and yayin on the chart?
Nesachim. Huh? Yeah, you're right. You're probably right. Good call. Shkoyach. Should we rip it now? Should we rip it in the middle? Anybody have a pen? How do you spell? With this one? No, there's the first you add a yud here, and over here you go like this. Which one is better, nesachim or yayin? Cross it out. Okay. I learned from the best. If you stop having issues with your cameras, not restarting, I'll be better with my stuff. Watch, I'm going to mark up the Aron Kodesh by mistake. It's going to go right through. Okay. That wasn't a cross, that was an X. There's a lot of crosses on the base on this thing also. All right. It's two different lashonos, yain and nesachim, but it means the same thing he's pointing out. How much time do I can't see the clock? Rabbi Ze'ev. Really? Could I see the clock, please, Gary? So, where does this pasuk? Rabbi, just we're trying to learn here. Simple pshat. What does that mean? So what's aleh? Aleh on top of the whatever the carbon tummy that we just brought. You bring the. Where's this pasuk? There's two carbon tummies in the morning and the afternoon. Which one? Rabbi is saying no, not everybody together. The morning one. So how do you learn from this? Anything. So what the pasuk says like this: Victor aleh. In addition, on the top of, after the morning tamid, you do everything, hashlamim. Hashlamim is a lashon of hashlam, you should finish it off, don't do anything after that. It's not talking about the Bein Arbaim one, it's talking about the morning one, and the morning one, you have to finish everything before you get to the evening one. So now we're just going to very simple sugyas, just to tell us how each one fits in. Why is one before the other? Minalan. How do I know that the first ma'aracha, this guy comes before this guy? How do I know that? The sanya hiya oilal moikda. Moikda is a bonfire. Alam is be'ach kol alayla. So that's the first one. Zumaracha g'doyla. That's number one in the pasuk. Beisham is be'ach tukat boy. That's the second one. Zumaracha shniyah shekteres. Ask the Gemara, ve'epochana. Maybe it should be the reverse. So there's a beautiful Rashi here. If you want to just learn Rashi, Rashi says ve'epoch. Lahagdim ma'rocha shel k'toires. Ukroke sidura. What is Rashi talking about? What does he want here? Rashi is saying you can't flip around what it says. It says that this is first. But Rashi is saying, listen to what Rashi is saying. If you have to read it, it's a little hard maybe. Daha behekter kalalaylakai. What's Rashi saying? Rashi is saying that perhaps the pasuk is not even talking about which one you do first and second. The pasuk is talking about that you should put the ivarim on the mizbeach all night long. Yes, it goes in order, but if you want to know which one comes first, the second one comes first. Rashi is asking, how can you say the second one comes first if the pasuk says first the first and then the second? So Rashi says no, the pasuk is not even talking about putting it together. The pasuk is talking about being makdir. I'm just pointing out there's a nice Rashi here. Ayin Sham, and you'll see. Next. Mistabra, I can't flip it around. Mistabra, maruba. Everything during the day goes on the big giant maracha right over here, not on the small. What do I do with the small one? For one purpose only, for k'tayris. So the many beat the few. Adrabah, no. Maracha shni, you're right. It's only one thing for the k'tayris, for the coals of the k'tayris. It's much better though. Maracha shni adiva, you're going into the heichal with it. No. When you have two things that have a chumrah, something that's more tadir, whatever you want to call it, is more chashiv than something that goes into the more of a kedusha place, the heichal. It's telling you a yahrzeit in life. A yahrzeit in shas. Going into the heichal is unbelievable. It's much more than the azara. But going into the azara 10 times is adif than going to the heichal one time. One against one, you're right. But many against that not. Now the Gemara says a beautiful pshat. At the end of the day, what if there's no coals on the second little guy? No coals, this is not lit up yet. And you want to do the k'tayris. You're allowed to take coals from the big one. So in essence, the big one is also something that goes into the heichal. You might not need it today, but it could, as the ability. So there's no maila at all in the small one. Okay, the second maracha comes before putting the two pieces of wood on top of the fire. It says by the shnei gzirei eitzim that you should put them on every morning. Now you're going to see one is red and one is green, and there's a reason. So it's actually this one right over here. Now, you should put the two pieces of wood on this one, and not on this one. Meaning, there is this one. This one is lit up already. That means they're both in existence. So the Torah is telling us it comes first. In other words, the other fire, is in existence because I have a choice. I have the big one and the small one. Where should I put these two pieces of wood? Put it on the big one. That means that's number 3. The putting of the wood comes after I have a Maracha Rishayna, after I have a Maracha Shniya, because now I have an option, and it's telling you put it on Maracha Rishayna. So that's step 3. The Shtei Gizri comes after Maracha Shniya. Ask the Gemara, it's not extra, that word olel. Look, it says olel. It's not extra. I need to know where to put the 2 pieces of wood. If the Torah didn't tell me to put the 2 pieces of wood, maybe I take it and put it on the kevish of the Mizbeach. Maybe I put it on the floor. Who said I should put it on the Mizbeach, on the Maracha? Says the Gemara, yeah, Trey olel ksivi. There's another olel. There's actually another one over here. So these are going to tell us, or one of them tells us that what we needed for here. First of all, that you do shnei ziri eitzim, but also to tell us that not on its friend, and memela, it's number 3 in the list. See the shnei ziri eitzim kodim lidishim mizbeach hapnimi. Okay, so number 4 is to clean out this mizbeach, cleaning it out. Avagav the hachiksiv baboiker baboiker, v'hachiksiv baboiker baboiker. So by shnei ziri eitzim it says boiker boiker. Hold on, this one. Victor Aleharin Ktoyer Samim Baboiker Baboiker. Is that the one? Vacha. Avgav Dochisiv Baboiker Baboiker. Shnei Gzirei Em is Beach and Baik Toyers. Vachisiv Baboiker Baboiker. Afilachi. Machshir Adif. Machshir Mainu. To prepare for the mitzvah is better than cleaning out the Mizbeach Hapnim. I need wood. Machshir Mainu. Shnei Gzirei In order for me to have Ktoyers, I need fire, I need coal. So the wood is hachana for the mitzvah, a machshir for the mitzvah. So that comes before cleaning out of a mizbeach. Wait a minute. You just told me a second ago, a whole pasuk, aleha, it says before in the pasuk. Where do you put the 2 pieces of wood? On the Maracha G'dayla. Where do you take the coals for the Ketores? From the Maracha Shniya. So you're telling me that the 2 pieces of wood is a hechsher for Ketores. It's not even in the same fire. So the Gemara doesn't need to be in the same fire. It's the same name. It's the same category. You're right. You're not using that piece of wood, but you're using wood. So wood is more chashiv than cleaning out a mizbeach. You going back to the thing? Okay, too deep for me. Rabbeinu Amar, you're ready there, so you finish it off. Another svara. You don't do other things. Okay, same svara as we had before. And at the end of the day, the wood for the Maracha G'dayla is wood for the Ketores, because if you don't have in a smaller fire, you can use from the larger fire. V'dishon mizbeach hapnimi koydem la'tovas chomesh neiros. And cleaning out the mizbeach comes before the 5 candles, cleaning them out. My time, Omar Abai, Gemara Gemirna, Svar Leidana. You know what? I made the list. I spoke to all the Talmid Chachamim. Shmei the Gemara means I listened to everybody. I have no idea what the reason is. He said, I don't know. Well, I'm a list maker. I didn't have to come up with all the svaras. Rava Amar Shlokish. It's very posh. It says Rava. Shlokish. If you have 2 mitzvahs in front of you, and you come to one, you got to do the one mitzvah before the other one, the one that you hit first. So, there's a taisis, important taisis here. A yisoid, 2 lines from the bottom. Yesh Leimer. Yeah, I saw. Yesh Leimer. Where you want to do both mitzvahs, and you bump into one, then you got to do that one first. Like we're going to have on Amud Beis, talis and tefillin. We do it every day. The one you bump into first, if you grab your talis, you put on your talis first. You grab your tefillin by mistake, you have to put on your tefillin first, because you want to do both mitzvahs. Okay, so based on that, the B'si Yosef says that al pi Kabbalah, you should cut the bottom challah. So the Bach asks, I don't understand, a mavir al mitzvahs. And he in fact passes, because anyway he says, you can't take a halach and Gemara and overrule it based on Kabbalah. It doesn't work like that. As I said, the Bach. So the Bach says no, you should cut the first one, but there are those who want to base it on this Taisvis and say that if you have a reason, Taisvis says you have a reason to do the other one, you have a good reason, you want to go to the second one because Api Kabbalah, it's better to do the second one. So that's good enough of a reason according to Taisvis that you don't have the idea of a mavir na mitzvahs. Okay, and now. Yeah, but it's not easier for the knife to get to. You could flip them over this way, but it's not so nice. Maybe I don't know. Okay, we're just turning now to Lamed Gimel Amud Beis, sponsored for Shidduch for Shaindel Rachel Bas Avraham Tzvi, and for Devora Bas Leah Gittel and Devora Bas Suri, and LiIlui Nishmat the Meron victims, or Refuah for the Meron victims, and Chama for all the mishpachas. And a happy birthday to Yisrael Hoprin. Mazel tov. I said happy birthday, he wasn't 20, he doesn't even know it's his birthday, I don't think. I don't know if you could see this, but the way it works is, when you walk into the Heichal, you're walking in over here, this way, you could see Shulchan, Menorah, and the Mizbeach. So, just like we have over here, maybe go down a little bit, Gary. Here you have the Menorah, and you have the Shulchan on the other side, and you have the Mizbeach HaKtoros in front of them. So when you come, you're walking in this way, you're going to bump into the Mizbeach HaKtoros first. The Menorah is over here, on this side of the Heichal, and the Shulchan is on this side of the Heichal, but you're hitting the Ktoros first, and that's why you do it first. The Sanya, because it says, Shulchan Bat Safon, the Shulchan is in the north side of the Heichal, right over here. And you give it a distance 2.5 amos so that 2 kohanim could slip in there easily to push in the breads and the other pull out the breads. But you need 2 kohanim to be right over here. You see, it's pulled off the wall. So is the menorah pulled off 2.5 amos from the other wall. The mizbeach is smack in the middle of the heichal, right over here in the middle. And it's closer to the door of the heichal a little bit. Why? It should be all in one row. The menorah must see the shulchan. They have to have line of sight. So you cannot insert the mizbeach in between them. So this mizbeach has to be in front of them this way. You see from this, Abure dera atutefta osur. You're not allowed to. So Rashi learns, very interesting. What could your hand hit first? Your hand hits your arm first. It could go like this easier than go like this. It's harder to get up here. That's how Rashi learns. So Memela, you mechuyev to put on your tefillin shel yad before your tefillin shel rosh. As Tosfos is a mefurish pasuk that you're supposed to put al yodecha v'nenecha. So Tosfos learns differently. The halacha that we're familiar with, that when you put your tefillin back in the bag, make sure that the tefillin shel rosh is in the front, far away, and the tefillin shel yad is in the front towards the zipper, so you hit the tefillin shel yad, and that's what you grab first. Because if you grab the tefillin shel rosh first, you're going to have a problem of ein mavir al mitzvahs. So what should you do, says the Gemara? First put on the tefillin shel yad according to Rashi. According to Tosfos means make sure you get to the tefillin shel yad first. And the 5 candles come before the tamid, the shchita and the zrika. So you split up the cleaning of the menorah in 2. The 5, then you do tamid, then 2. My timer. Amar Abaya. Ahu baboiker baboiker. The shneik zira eitzim deloy tzricha shadinu lahacha. Oh, if you recall, look at this. Ubir alei akain eitzim baboiker baboiker. What do we say? These eitzim are machshir. We said this on Amud Aleph. This is to prepare for the Ketores. So preparing comes before anything. So then why does the pasuk have to say baboiker? They're completely extra. So I'm going to look at this beauty. I'm going to take the green one and put it on this pasuk. So now this pasuk has, instead of 1 boiker, this one. This pasuk, instead of having 1 boiker, is going to have 2 boikers. Because I have 1 extra. I have 1 extra over here. I have 2 extras, but I'm going to split them up. I'm going to take a green and put on this one over here. So now I have 2 over here. I'm going to take a red and put it together with this one over here. So now, this one has 3 total. 1, 2, and a red over here. So 3 against 2 always wins. Says the Gemara. Rashi says, look at Rashi. The Yerushalmi Chassid in the Koilel told me this, Rashi. Shadinu la'acha shizu midah b'Torah. It's chassid shavart. Davar she'eina inyan light ne'in chaveiroi. Right? If you don't need it over here for shnei gizreitzim, use it somewhere else. But he wants to learn a pshat. It's a midah of the Torah. If davar she'eina inyan light, if you have something you're not using, give it to your friend. Let your friend use it. The Hasidim in the room like, that was one of the best vartim I heard this year. Wow. The Litvaks are like, what? That's not what Rashi meant. It's no shaykhis. What are you talking about? That's krum. Anyway, says the Gemara, now it's 3. Now you understand what's flying. It's 3 against 2. Even though you have 2 against 2, the tamid, which is an oila, comes to give a kapara for lois assays and assays and lois assays and assay. So it's a kapara. The menorah is not a kapara. Hatav shtei neiros, cleaning out a menorah doesn't bring Klal Yisrael kapara. Bring a carbon tavin brings Klal Yisrael kapara. Why are you taking these babaykers and splitting up your way? Maybe you should take one and put it on the pasuk of cleaning out the mizbeach hapnimi. And therefore, what's going to happen? The dishun mizbeach is going to be before the dam hatamid. So we're going to have dishun. Oh, let me just stop here. It's 8:02. We gotta. Okay, because I'm confused and we're late. So stop over here. What? You're waiting off here to say that, Mati. All right, everybody say. Motzei Shabbos, 9:30. Sorry for the bilbil over here. Yishkoyach Yeshua Burnham showing up now. Motzei Shabbos, 9:30. You want to say Tehillim so we can finish the daf of Motzei Shabbos? Shem Aleis Ma'akum B'Sichad Inoi. What is Shmoyad in Yamoid? You has the government delay. You say you son of children. Mishla Dinoi. Mishla Mishla Boyke. This one given is about this. With this is some guys are going to see one some Shivam the Misham Mokmi Achim them some the Bochum Fela Mishulu. Ashto. Goes my go even in Amen.
Ich denke, am Sonntag geht morgen.
Geht morgen, geht Jura.
Was hat sich?
Shabbos.
Wo ist?
Auf a gesinnten Shabbos.
Mein Zaliden.
Ja,
Reb Ze'ev, have a good Shabbos.
Have a fantastic Shabbos.
Yeah, just remember, you guys should have a little bit of art of the cheesecake, but don't have too much.
I never heard of too much cheesecake. What is that?
You have to have one of each kind.
Oh, you sure you saw? I thought you meant to have three types of cheesecake for Yom.
You have to have one for every day of the Imer, no?
Cheesecake is when you have enough left for your neighbor.
I think that we should have 3 types of 49 types of cheesecake for Yom.
Right.
Is that what you're trying to?
That's what I'm saying. No, 49 pieces. You don't have to have 49 different types.
Ah, okay.
I'm kidding. Anybody with 49 is a bissel Michigan.
I'm starting to like that minhag of how much time you have to finish it.
Yisrael, you only have 1 day, so that's how much time you have to finish it.
It could be machmer with pineapple cheese and cherry cheese.
Is there a measuring sheet for these things? Like for that?
Okay, you're right.
I'm very concerned. I'm only very concerned.
The pun of the shit that you need.
Yeah, it's matzah times 5.
Where's my belly?
By the way, I think
He's coming. He's
I think
coming.
no,
He's
I
coming
have,
on.
I
He's
have to
coming
tell
on.
him something. I'm so glad he clarified this tonight.
Hold
I
on.
think there's a famous machlokes that I even till this day I don't understand why Eretz Yisrael only keeps one day Shavuos.
Hey, Mark.
Why wouldn't Eric Yisrael keep one day's rules?
Rebelli?
If it was Bov,
Hey, Eli.
was
What?
Both Ellie's, I should say. Yeah.
Guys,
With the cheesecake.
What would be any reason why Shavuos should be any different than any other Chag?
No, because it's not my shot. I'm just saying in general.
I'm saying Chutz La'aretz should more likely hold one day than on Shavuos.
Guys, Rebelli has
By the
limited.
time Shavuos comes around, you know when Sira is 49 days Sira. So you know when the end is. You don't have to wait for Mekadesh Chodesh.
We can do it.
There's
You guys
not
will be
enough
on
time
Rebelli.
in one day to eat
You
all
guys
that
will
shit.
do this. You can do this later. We have limited time Rebelli. I just wanted to tell
All right,
you.
we shouldn't be talking Torah right now.
Thank you for clarifying. Thank you for clarifying that message. I could send it back. I sent your the clip from the other day to my sister-in-law's sister. I didn't realize she had sent me a message on Sunday looking for the collecting of money. Apparently, her son, my sister-in-law's sister's son, is the chassan from Detroit.
Wow.
And you said, unfortunately, so I actually sent the correction clip that that's not what you meant. I sent it to her today, and I realized after I heard it.
You're the troublemaker. Okay, Aaron
So I'm
Hirsch,
going to send the correction clip.
what? The Olam really thought I said unfortunately that she got engaged.
No, but
No, it was fine.
Misinterpretation.
You know,
No,
when they
she's like, could you please retract it? I'm like, this, whatever.
when they edit the videos.
I did see it. I sent it.
Calories.
What are we? What are we?
Why is he not answering?
I don't think his speaker works. I don't think he's hearing anyone.
What did he say, Mark? I hear you. What did he say,
He was
Mark?
wishing you. Yeah, I was trying to Noel tell. was calling you. No, I was trying to tell you that Yoel. I'm still virtually. CEO. No, Ellie, we're telepathically at the Koisel this morning, right?
Oh, I forgot to talk about it, Taka. Yeah, I wanted to say something about that. Wow. It's too much to say.
They said the IDF put out a statement, by the way, that 160 jets in the air last night.
I saw it too. I was thinking really when I saw that.
160.
I saw 40. I was like, I've never seen it. Literally, it looked like like those fireworks, and all of a sudden you see the white stars going.
Right.
They were going like everywhere. I thought I was seeing something, and all of a sudden I realized that these are all jets. 40 jets. Me and my son were counting. Here's 10, 20, 30, 40 in the air. They're all just, and then you hear boom, boom. It's crazy. And then this morning they're still shooting rockets from Shugaim.
Right.
Well, you
crazy.
Rebelli, you heard in the
Crazy.
Chemed?
My wife is on a plane now, and instead of landing in they're landing in a lot 4 hours away from where we live.
That's why.
Gonna make it for Shabbos.
Yeah, but Ellie, right after they opened that,
You need a place for Shabbos.
Right after they diverted all the traffic to that airport, they shot a rocket to Eilat just to get everybody nervous. So they shut Ramon. They shut Ramon down for a few minutes.
I told my wife
that was going to be the end.
Open up by the time she lands. Maybe they'll open up the airport.
Yeah,
you never
open,
know.
it's open
Probably not after yesterday.
If not,
yesterday they started shooting in the south because they wanted to scare the airport. They're hitting for the airport. So if you make it back Ben Gurion, they'll be hitting Ben Gurion.
No, but I'm saying maybe they'll be so shattered from all the bombing last night. They're not gonna.
Nah, they're not shattered. They don't care. Life is not worth it to them.
Maybe they'll try to show this.
They're not going to do anything. They're going to keep going until we say ceasefire or we kick their butts. They're not going to do anything, and they're not going to say ceasefire, and we're not going to say ceasefire. So,
Israel agreed to the ceasefire for 1 year from Egypt.
Rebelli, were you seeing all this from Chemed? You seen the planes and the bombing from Chemed?
It's all flat there, and he's not that far.
Nothing.
Crazy amount of missiles we saw. Crazy amount, hundreds.
How come Chemed sees? How come Chemed sees your time doesn't see anything?
Because it's Hara Yerushalayim. You have too much room blocking in the middle. He's flat.
Wow.
I just thought I took video of it. It's literally, it looks like fireworks because you see red streaks coming into the sky one after another, and then there's an explosion in mid-air, and you know that it hit its target.
Eli, you'll see there's a video on your phone from some of the ordnance that was dropped in Gaza, and the massive flashbacks that they
The one that just came out like 10 minutes ago?
1-story building or something, they knocked it down. It didn't make any noise. It was like a little boom.
No, there was one where Mamish came down the block. It went down 13th Avenue, parked on 50th Street, took out Yossi Goldstein's house like that.
But yes.
No, I'm sorry, you double park. Double park, Sparrow Park. Double park.
Is that a surgical strike?
Yep, that's what they call them.
That's what it is.
You watch the flashes, and then all of a sudden the whole building just goes.
Rebelli, check out. Looks like Zevi and Reb David
got together the Kaisel.
Who says that's not the coastal? First
That's
of all.
what happened.
Second of all, that is a picture
Yesterday,
that
that's
was sent to
they met
at a Hachnosus Sefer Torah.
that's right. I saw the picture already.
Beautiful. Oh.
Nice.
In case anybody cares, or America.
We thought it was rough.
Available already.
At newsstands near you.
At a WhatsApp group near you.
At a WhatsApp.
I'm already half printed. It's a long one, 18 pages this time. It's 18 pages, no Americas.
You got 2 days in Eretz Yisrael to read it and 3 days on Chutz, so
That's right.
should have been longer.
It's the same 1 week to prepare it.
Jack, Monday afternoon we'll get the day free, second day.
Yeah, Monday afternoon will be very difficult. Okay.
By the way, Rebelli,
Yeah.
you see this week's or America's, your favorite Devar Torah is in there. Go check it out.
What's my favorite about Torah?
You'll see it already.
Yeah, they're all his
All right, guys, we
favorites.
gotta run. The chakras.
Have a beautiful Shabbos.
Have a good Yontif.
Stay safe.
We'll see you once before Yenta.
Actually, yeah, Master Shabbos will still be on. Right, forgot. Sorry.
Sunday morning.
No, he's Sunday morning. I'm